Hey everyone! So if there's something you should know about me, it's that I always like to be prepared. Some might say too prepared, but because of that, I already have a bunch of my seeds, not only ordered, but already in my possession that I want to make sure I grow next year because things sell out. So I want to make sure the varieties that are going to be new to me that I want to try in my garden, I already have, so I don't have to worry about it later this year or early next. So what I'm going to cover today are the cut flowers that I have already ordered seeds for. And I'll also go over the ones that I still have seeds for that I'm going to grow again, just in case you want to get any of those. But all of these are from Johnny Seed. Not sponsored, another thing you should know about me, if I find something that works, I stick with it until it stops working. And I really love the quality of the seeds I've gotten from Johnny Seed. The packets themselves don't have a lot of pretty pictures, but there is a ton of information on the seed packets and also on the website. So that's just where all of these happen to be from, but I do still get seeds from other places, but definitely the bulk of the seeds that I order are from Johnny Seed. So let me go ahead and go through these. I will put up images of the flowers on the screen so that you can see what they look like, since showing you the seed won't exactly be that exciting. But I will say that for almost all of my flowers, I start from seed indoors, either in March or April. So all of these I'll be starting indoors at that time. And for me, because we don't have a super short growing period because we are zone 6A, but it's still not super long either. So I like to give my plants a head start before I get them outside. And I find that they start to flower a lot faster when I do that. So let me start. And I was gonna say start with the ones I'm most excited about. I'm excited about all of them, but there are some that I'm more excited about than the others. So I think, was this the first year I did any of the Queenie Lime series? And am I crazy? Did it used to be called Queen Lime? Now it's Queenie Lime? Was it always Queenie Lime and I just was saying the wrong name? But I grew blush and red this year in my garden and fell in love. Probably not surprising because I think everybody loves the Queenie Lime zinnias series. So I still have seeds from those from last year. For me, the size of my garden, at most, maybe I'm planting like 4 to 6 of an individual flower that I get. So seeds for me last 3-4+ years in the garden. So I still have seeds from the Queen Lime Blush and the Queen Lime Red. I will definitely be growing those next year. And I'm adding 2 more colors. So I'm doing the Queenie Lime Orange, which I think, I'm not sure if one or both of these are new this year. Let me check. Okay, so this one doesn't say new on the site. I thought one of them did, but maybe not. But the Queenie Lime Orange, this is gonna be perfect, not only for summer, but also for fall, assuming the powdery mildew doesn't kill them early this coming year. But I am so excited for these. What I love about the Queen Lime series too is that, maybe this is similar too for a lot of zinnias, but each of the flowers is always a little different. Like some, for my red, for example, some were more deeper red, some were more pink, some had more lime than others. So I feel like even with these, you do get variation within the flowers themselves. So I am super excited for the Queenie Lime Orange. So the Queenie Lime zinnias, just some other specs, they get to about 30 to 40 inches tall, which in my garden I consider kind of a medium height zinnia. I don't need staking, or it says you don't need staking, but I think I am going to stake some of these unless I'm growing them on a pot on the ground or on the deck, which I don't think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to raise them up. I think I will provide support because we get so much wind up here that once the plants get to their full height, which is usually a little bit taller in my experience in my garden than the maximum height, the branches start to break off in the wind. So yes, I got the Queenie Lime Orange. And then the other Queenie Lime that I got is, well, I guess it's not Queenie Lime, it's Queenie Lemon. Queenie Lemon Peach. And something I realized this year in my garden is that for as many colors as I have, I was missing more yellow. I had yellow from my sunflowers, but those, don't flower for that long. And then I had some yellow from the saffron finch petunias, but I felt like I needed more of that yellow color in my garden. So I'm excited, even though they're Queenie Lemon Peach, to me in the photo, they kind of look like just a buttery yellow. So I'm excited for those. Are these ones that I swear one of these said they were new this year, but they must not be. I will say this does say it was previously and widely known as Queenie Lime Peach. So, oh, you know what? I'm answering all my questions that I had. So this says, over the years, as the breeder has developed new colors in the series, he transitioned the series name from Queen to Queenie. Interesting. To respect his wishes, we've updated the product names accordingly. So I wasn't crazy. It did used to be Queen, and now it is Queenie series, I guess, universally. So these should have kind of like a rosy pink center right around the discs, and then yellow petals around the edges. I'm so excited for these. You know what? I just answered another question that I had on the site. The one that was new is one that I don't have, and I'm not quite as interested in. It's Queenie Pure Orange. And I'm not that interested in it because it's just kind of solid orange, and I like the ones that have kind of, is it ombre of colors in them? So I have 4 of the 5 seed packets of the Queenie Lime series that Johnny Seed has. So I do not have the Queenie Pure Orange. I do have Queenie Red Lime, Queenie Lemon Peach, Queenie Lime with Blush, and Queenie Lime Orange. And my plan for these is to plant them in my center raised bed on the front deck. That's my largest raised bed. That's kind of the star of my garden because that's what you see from the outside. First thing you see when you walk out into my front deck garden. And I'm so excited. So I had the Cinderella zinnias there this year. I've always had zinnias in that raised bed. I don't love Cinderella zinnias as much as other zinnias. They're not as full of a flower. They have fuller ray florets, and I like the thicker, I don't know, bunchier flowers on the zinnias. And I'm really excited to think about how the combination of the 4 Queenie Lime zinnias all intermingled together in that raised bed are just going to look so pretty. That's also why I think I'm going to stake them, because that bed is about 3 feet off of the ground. So things up there get more windswept than things down on the deck. So I'm hoping that works out really well next year. Not only will I have the zinnias there, but I'll probably put them in some pots around this back deck just because I love them so much that I'm going to want to have extra. They also have a Queenie formula mix on the site, but because I want to be able to control which colors I put where, I don't want to go for the mix because then I don't know what colors of seeds I'm actually sowing. So for this one, super excited, cannot wait to see how these do in my garden. And I think I have one other zinnia that I have ordered, and that is the Benary's Giant Coral. So I started growing the Benary's Giant zinnia series 4 years ago now, and I got the mix from Johnny Seed. And then from that, what I've been doing is that when I sow the seeds and I grow the different colors, I will then find the color I love the most and get that actual seed packet. So the first year, I think I just mostly got bright colors. The second year is when I found the Giant Benary's Zinnia Wine, which I, did have in my raised beds back here. I still have seeds for those. It's like a fuchsia-y, deep purpley red color, really, really pretty. And then from this year, what I found that I really loved was the Benary's Giant Coral. So I have seeds for those that I'm going to sow separately too, and I think I'm going to do a mix of both the wine and the coral back here. So this year I did a lot, I still have some bright colors. I feel like I tended more towards the pastels, but I want to get more bright colors back here too, just because it makes me happy. So I think those two will be a great combination. Now these are taller. Let's see what it says. I think these are 50 to 60 inches. These say 40 to 50, but when I grew these in my center raised bed, I measured them and they were taller than me, and I am 64 inches. So I expect these will also get taller than that in my garden. So these will definitely be staked no matter what beds I grow them in for next year. And because these are so tall, I tend to stick them more in lower beds or lower pots, again, so that the wind doesn't completely break them in half. But I am super excited. I really like the Benary's Giant mix. I think this one too is supposed to be more powdery mildew resistant, but it was very odd this year because the wine ones back here were probably one of the worst, but then the mix that is actually still up front has absolutely no signs of powdery mildew. So both Benary Giant series, one just the wine, a lot of powdery mildew, the mix, which is just the random, all did really well. So I don't know. We'll see how the powdery mildew does on these next year, but those are all the zinnias that I have. Next on my list is a China Aster, and I have fallen in love with China Asters this year. I've said before, I didn't really give them a great chance in my garden. I sowed a mixed seed in too small of a space 2 years ago. They didn't do that great. This year, I tried 3 different varieties that I fell in love with. So I did the Bonita Shell Pink, and again, all these were from Johnny Seed from last year. I still have seeds for this year. So Bonita Shell Pink, the Lady Coral Lavender, which is a lavender color despite coral being in the name, and then the King Apricot, which I did not give enough room to this year, so I'm going to give more room to it next year. I think this year I was so worried about having multiples of the same plant. Like I think I had 6 of the bonita shell pink, just in case one died. I wanted to have other ones, but I'm going to do fewer different varieties, so have more of a diverse mix, just so I can have more flowers in my garden and see what I like. But as far as the new ones that I'm going to be adding, the first one is the Hazaster Hagen Light Blue. So it says light blue. To me, at least in the photo, they look more like a light lilac color. These look so cool. I think this is what the King Apricot would have looked more like had I not grown it in too small of a container. It was in the flower box with my Morning Glory. There was no room for that to grow there. But it's very, I don't even know how to describe it, kind of like a little firework or like a little puffball. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it'll just look so unique in bouquets. I'm also interested to see how it dries. I feel like it'll look really cool as a dried flower too. So that is the first of the 2 China Asters that I ordered. The second one is called the Tower Chamois. I think that's how you pronounce it. So this is a like light pink peachy color. It's definitely in my color scheme. Like I like the peaches, I like the pinks. This one has a shape similar, at least a little bit, to the bonita shell pink. So it seems a little bit more compact than the other varieties that I have. So I'm excited to see how this one does. This one says height is 28 to 32 inches, so should be slightly shorter in stature than some of the other ones that I have, but oh, this here, it says peony type blooms. That's exactly how it looks to me, kind of like a little peony flower. So I'm super excited for this one too. I think just because these are more the pastels, even though I said I want more brighter colors here back here next year, I still think all of my pastels will be here. I'm just going to add some more pops of bright colors, because pastels in the front deck, I have so many bright colors going on, it doesn't really quite work. It seems like it gets lost kind of within all of the other bright colors. So I think all of the asters are going here. So that means I will have 5 different varieties of China Aster. I'm so excited. I hope that I love them all as much as I loved them this year. And I started these inside in March because they typically don't bloom till a little bit later in the season. But I had blooms in, I think they started forming in early July, and I had flowers opening in mid-July, which is great. So I highly recommend starting them inside if you have them. But I think that is my order of the cut flowers that I'm gonna have in my garden next year. Now, this by no means mean I'm not adding more, but honestly, I don't really have a lot of room for much more than that. So I'm sure I will add a few other seeds here and there, but this is gonna be kind of my core of my cut flower garden next year, minus like dahlias and other things that I'll get in the spring. But yeah, I'm super excited for these varieties. I will list everything below, not only the ones that are new to me that I just ordered the seeds for, but also the ones that I still have from last year, in case you want to pick any up. Also, if there's any other China Asters or zinnias I should grow, let me know down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.